Okay, once again, the aim of the Bodhisattva is to enlighten sentient beings. Okay, this phrase, enlighten sentient beings, sometimes this phrase may be not doing the service. That it sounds too, I don't know, it sounds too Messiah kind of thing. You understand? Basically, waking up, awaken the people. A child is looking at a play. The play is, I don't know, something to do with a ghost, demon, blood, everything. And the child is so afraid, panic. You are the mother. You take the child to the backstage. Look, this is a mask. This is all fake. This is a show. This is a game. Release, awaken from this illusion of a demon. There's no more delusion thinking that this is real. Awaken is just quite a good word, I think. Enlighten is so it's overly used now. Awaken the person to the truth. The truth we have already talked enough, and we will talk more, of course. That is the Bodhisattva's aim, to awaken. How you do it? Infinite way. If it requires behaving badly, be it. If it requires being pompous, right? Pompous. What's the word pompous? Showy, is it? Like showy? Then be it. If it requires to be simple and serene and I don't know, then be it. I'm telling you this because you are so used to halo. So bodhisattvas, halo, slanted eyes, those who sort of walk as if they have some sort of a constipation, like, like you're so used to this. It's not like that. You have to you need to make them see the truth, relative truth and ultimate truth, how things are and how things appear. You have to make them understand how things appear and how things are. They are not different, neither they are same. Like ice and water. Ice appears to be hard, solid. You can put it in the glass. But water is not, basically, this is, of course, a young bodhisattvas, beginner bodhisattvas. You may not be equipped with necessary tools and know-how. You're not savvy. You don't know how to do these. And in the process, and this actually comes here in this chapter, in the process of trying to enlighten, you get so exhausted. You get so disappointed. It's like, because people love to hear lies. People love to hear all kinds of fake things. You will never be invited if you are telling the truth too much. If you are telling too much truth, you will be outcasted. young bodhisattvas gets really rejected, unappreciated, disheartened. And then also beware, young bodhisattvas like myself. When there's a good intention, so-called good intention, when we have a good intention, we become very vulnerable, because with the so-called good intention comes pride of having the good intention. I mean well, So you actually become much more vulnerable because you have good intention. When people don't appreciate your bad intention, you don't get hurt because you go there with a bad intention. But if you go with a good intention and then people don't accept that, you get really hurt. So young bodhisattvas, they suffer, discouraged. Slightly more matured bodhisattvas, they know how to pester people. They know how to be persistent. They know how to sort of tag along. They know how to stalk people. They know how to sort of, they're savvy. You see, they know when to knock the door of somebody at what time, and what to say. You have to learn what to say. I mean, there were a lot of bodhisattvas, young bodhisattvas, who this is in this chapter, like, who says, hello, how are you? How was your sleep last night? That shampoo smells good. Jindang. And then you even have a small gift with you. I don't know, it could be an eraser beautifully wrapped with a nicely packaged, or a toothpick, or a toothpaste, or a toilet paper. It doesn't matter. You have a gift. Jindang, Myanmar. These are important for the young bodhisattvas. Some sort of a gift, not necessarily material, gift of time, gift of space, gift of a seed, giving, generosity. And then Nyamparamhrava, which is like soothing conversation. Yes, this is important, you need to know. We have this norm, think, there's this bodhisattva. So the immediate expectation from this bodhisattva is we have a dharma talk. Dharma talk, not a good idea. Savvy bodhisattvas will talk about politics, or the latest sort of, I don't know, what's the latest whiskey that gets produced in Japan, or I don't know, in Singapore. Do they make whiskey here? I don't know, cigar. Talk about Che Guevara. Talk about, I don't know, books. Talk about things that are, general Buddhist things that you should not be talking, such as pornography. See, if you refrain talking about pornography, out of the 10 potential sentient beings that you could liberate, you understand? You may be losing 9. I know. You understand? But, if you talk about pornography, first, of course, our sentient beings will sort of pretend that they don't like to hear. But then you insert Then you insert the relative truth, the ultimate truth, the bodhicitta, all of that. I don't know, stuff like that. Generosity of time, generosity of space. Yes, take your sentient being to a, I don't know, Victoria's Secret? What do you call it? Victoria's Secret, yeah. Go there. Try some of those fruity scent. It's terrible they are actually. This is this is something that you know you have to be open to do it. And by the way, really, you think that, oh, he's sort of modernizing Buddhism. Absolutely not. I dare not. I cannot change Buddhism. I cannot. And if somebody does it, I oppose this. I am following I'm going by the book. I'm going by the book. If somebody sees, of course, this doesn't mention Victoria's Secret, but it mentions, like for the benefit of sentient beings, there's a lot of, and I'm not actually interpreting for the sake of interpreting also. This is important, And then, Jimba, gift of time, material, flower. saying right word, not necessarily soothing, saying right thing at the right time, depending on who you are. Again, you are a young bodhisattva, I would just begin with, hello, how are you, how was your sleep, since something like that. Now if you reach to a level of Tangtong Gyalpo, there was a great master called Tangtong Gyalpo, bodhisattva, great master. You ask, you know people ask him when they bump into him, people ask, oh, where are you going? He will say, can't you see? Where's my front? Can't you see? And then, like, if people ask, where are you coming from? What? From my back. So he's basic, Tangtong Gyalpo, known for very grumpy. He's so grumpy. Like, ask him about, how he is, or just basically very grumpy. And this is because he's such a savvy bodhisattva. He knows how to play this game of grumpiness. And I think it's, once you reach there, and this is not that difficult, by the way. You should really try. You should try every Saturday between 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Be grumpy. Deliberately, consciously, with the right motivation. You can practice this. So I was talking to somebody counting cracks. I don't know where she is, but anyway, down the line, maybe you should try this also. And especially for the young bodhisattvas, when they decide to be grumpy, 9 to 10, not before, not after. Among many other benefits, you will be so amused by this grumpiness. It's just so ridiculous. It's just so funny. It's like, why people are grumpy, and especially when your conditioning and cause and condition is different. Yeah, so on and so forth. And then, of course, if you're becoming really, really, really savvy, if you're really, really, really savvy, okay, now you are really matured bodhisattva. And then you are going to meet your, I don't know, friend. You are this sentient being. You are I don't know. You are object of compassion. And let's say this being is, I don't know, more like a horny side. You understand? Then you're like, okay, I'll put on a striped shirt. Striped shirt. Because it might do something about his desire. Anything. Or I would go there and chew rose flowers. I don't know, something like this. Now, but we are talking on another level of the bodhisattvas who are so savvy, who is so experienced with the skillful means and the wisdom. Probably for those who are young, probably good idea not to try for now. You go to your friend and chew roses, you will not be invited. And when you are not invited, you will feel rejected. And when you feel rejected, you will react. See, the matured bodhisattvas, they don't feel rejected. And you will know what to do. You will know what to chew next time. And then the next one, all along, the bodhisattva is behaving like this, manifesting like this, so that the object of the compassion will not go astray from the truth. And also, all along, the bodhisattva will never contradict the teachings of the Buddha. Now, that's important. Being able to teach to different people. Being able to teach beings that have different capacities and different elements. Being able to teach people who have different hang-ups. That means a lot of different things. I don't know. A savvy bodhisattva will pick up a conversation with, I don't know, conservative bunch and, get along well with them. Or even more savvier bodhisattva may hang around with liberals and have accordingly corresponding to different needs and different capacity. The bodhisattva will have different kinds of conversations. And I think the most powerful way of accomplishing the bodhicitta's activities through having full control over one's own mind stream. In other words, power of shamatha, power of vipassana, conviction that everything is an illusion. Let's say a bodhisattva is trying to help somebody. Let's say bodhisattva is trying to help someone who is mentally ill or depressed, sad. Bodhisattva is not doing this out of arrogance that he or she knows what to do. In fact, the bodhisattva has this humility of realization that even to see somebody having a problem is your own projection. It is you who think that this person is mentally unfit. That's your projection. Based on your own limited projection, you create the phenomena of curing, being cured, path to the curing. This kind of humility. And because of that, if the sentient being actually gets better, you also have this humility, this so-called getting better, getting cured, relieved. All this just my projection, nothing else. And then, when the bodhisattva actually reaches to the stages, first bhumi, for instance, then bodhisattva benefits sentient beings on another level. I mean, by then the bodhisattva has the power to visit and meet and encounter and discuss things with 100 Buddhas within one moment. Enter 100 different Buddha fields within one moment. Understand 100 different sentient beings, capacity, elements, emotions. 100 different emotions, 100 different elements. Okay, maybe I'll let you ask questions now. Just a few more questions.
Rinpoche, regarding the examples that you gave just now and what you talked about yesterday about behavior of a bodhisattva, you did mention that there are three areas whereby a bodhisattva ought to be aware and careful, which is one, a mind of covetousness, a malicious intent mind, and wrong views.
Mm-hmm.
So, if a respectable leader who holds two sets of vows. One is a patimoksha of monk or nun, as well as bodhisattva vows, performs or so-called is being involved in some sort of sex scandal. How would this example fit into the behavior of a bodhisattva?
Again, I can only give you a generalized, very generalized answer, okay? Because especially a bodhisattva on a higher level, higher stages, we never know why they do what they do. And do they even care about scandals? And probably they actually create scandals, so can they actually have a more connection, because a scandal is a kind of a powerful way to get connected, so to speak. But at the same time, if the scandal and stuff like this is diverting many sentient beings from the right path, right view, even lose their inspiration, then especially if this bodhisattva is a young bodhisattva, he or she has to be careful. He and she is not doing, and there's a lot of this case, by the way, so much. I just want to stir up things a bit. I want to ask some Buddhist scholars, because I've been myself really and actually, can you also help me on that? I actually don't know whether there is ever a mention negatively about sex in whole sutras or shastras in Buddhism. It sounds to me a Buddhist who are very Abrahamic influence talking this. Yes, Buddhism is against sexual misconduct. Now that's a different thing. You have taken a vow not to do such and so, and yet you do it. Of course. That's, obviously blatant. And also, if you abuse a monk or a nun who has taken a vow that will not engage into such kind of activities, if you abuse them, of course, then, that's a different category, right? I just want to throw some foods for thoughts. This is something interesting because actually India is always fascinating to me. Because India is one place where they worship sex. I mean, there's places like Khajuraho temple. There's all these sexual positions and all of that. And I don't know. There is a lot of greatness in that from my eyes. The Abrahamic, I think, attitude towards sex, I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm not well versed with this, but I have a feeling there's a little bit of judgment over this. Because let's say on the most mundane level, when you are making a film, like in America, let's say, if there is a little bit of nudity, sexual context, then it gets rated 15, 18, 17. You understand? Or 18, like that. Adult, adult contents. Now, there's a film with a bloodshed, bang, 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 killing here, killing there. Rated 12. Rated what? You understand? So this looking at the sex as a something disgusting, something not good, there's a lot of, I have a feeling there's a lot of Abrahamic influence, and then a lot of Confucius in Chinese case, a lot of Confucius influence. India in ancient, I have a feeling they have a different attitude towards this. Of course, India had to stay almost 700 years under the Islamic occupation, and there after that about 200 years of, under the British. So almost 1,000 years. By then, things have changed. Of course, I'm just putting this in your head because so-called scandal. I mean, scandal is very, very subjective. I shouldn't be talking like this probably in Singapore, but what I'm saying is marijuana versus whiskey. Whiskey is socially accepted from the highest judge, Supreme Court judge, all the way to the lowest people. Bottoms up, cheers, birthday party, marriage, great occasion, spiritual occasion, I don't know, legal occasion, intoxication, right? Marijuana, I don't know. Which one harms your body more? And which one has harmed more body between marijuana and alcohol? Okay, I'm sure now whatever I'm saying is going to be edited, and then we'll be in the moments and the Johnson Cancer which endorse marijuana from tomorrow. I'm sure. You understand? But it's okay. It's okay. But I think we need to think these things. We really need to think like this. I mean, many things. One could really it's scandalous that we eat sushi, isn't it? I mean, that's like somebody's body. That should be scandalous. So, scandal related to sex, scandal related to eating sushi, scandal related to drinking whiskey, scandal related to marijuana. I don't know. They think we should think about these things. Okay.
Rinpoche, I have one more question about duality. In especially Vajrayana circle, we always hear of, like say, for instance, today is a Vesak day, it's a full moon day, so it's an auspicious day, so it's a multiplying day. This month, Sakadawa. So, are we promoting dualistic thinking of auspicious, inauspiciousness, and even some go to the extent of is multiply married by how many million times, that kind of thing? Is it we are promoting dualistic way of thinking? Is it superstition?
Yes. So much. Whole idea that you should inspire, you should have the aspiration for enlightenment. That's a dualistic thinking. Of course. But that's okay, because in order to get rid of a thorn in your palm, you need another thorn. You take it out. You say goodbye to both. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Oh, so much. Kuan Yin is a woman in China. Kuan Yin is man in India. You understand what I mean? They sort of keeps on changing her gender. Or he's transvestite, maybe. And stuff like that. And yeah, there's a lot of that. But that's what I'm talking about. Cinderella teachings, I was saying. There's a lot of that.
So basically, I think the whole framework is actually 99.9% are all upaya, skillful means.
Yes.
Only 0.1% is just real stuff.
No, but the thing is, the moment that wisdom accompanies all 99.99, they become prajna. This is the great thing.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Okay.
Rinpoche, may I ask a question?
Mhm.
I must confess that I don't know much about sutras, shastras, but I have this question. This morning you said do not get enlightenment is not getting caught up in some game, in other people's game. Okay.
Or my own game, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So if enlightenment is beyond extremes, where there's no emotions, no ups and downs, no joy, no sorrow,
It's not like a vegetable state.
yeah. Okay. So it seems like a boring state of things, right? So should I really seek enlightenment?
Yes, you must.
Is it all that is touted out to be? Because it seems like an oversold product. Maybe I should just be happy with my current state of things and live in the now, or maybe that is considered a wrong view. I really don't know. And it's like sometimes it's very difficult because you struggle with should I go for it? You can't do this, you can't do that, or you have to do this, do that. Go for the numbers, chase this, chase that. So
you're looking from enlightenment from the mundane point of view. In that case, enlightenment is the last thing that you want. It's useless. Enlightenment. If you are, when we look from a mundane world point of view, enlightened person, let's say he's an omniscient. If you achieve that enlightenment, no more television episodes. You already know what's next. So boring, isn't it? That's what you are saying. But that's because you are looking enlightenment from a mundane point of view. I think it's better to see enlightenment as what I was giving you, the example of sandcastle, mother, remember tablecloth. You actually know you are not really. There's a really good example. There's a really good analogy in the Vimalakirti Sutra, like a lotus, born in the mud, but not stained by mud. You do all of that. You enjoy all of this. You enjoy chilled white wine, not chilled red wine. You see the red difference, all of that. They actually call it discrimination wisdom. Yet you are never caught by those. And you play this game for the benefit of sentient beings. I think there's so much fun. So much. Because you are on the top of everything. You are like miles ahead of everyone. I think you should aspire for it. Okay. Oh, you have a question?
Hi, Rinpoche, I have a question here.
Okay.
Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Thanks. Thanks, Rinpoche, for the teaching. I have two questions. So one is about, yesterday you mentioned about Zhuangzi. I just relate to what I read about Zhuangzi and the Laozi, Dao De Jing. They're talking about energy can transform into matter, substance, and the matter substance can transform into energy, which we Chinese will call it qi or air. So I just feel like this sounds very similar to emptiness is no other than form, and form is no other than emptiness. I'm not sure whether they are talking about the same thing.
This I don't know. Actually, really, I myself I'm very interested. Some of the Zhuangzi's, verses very inspiring.
And okay, the second question is about the bodhisattva. It's always very inspiring and very encouraging to hear stories of bodhisattvas, how they, they take actions in our real world. So I just wonder that since Bodhisattvas, they keeps coming back into samsara to help all sentient beings, is there ever an end to it? Or Bodhisattvas is just going to keep doing it like a full-time, forever job? And this is the only thing they will do forever?
For the beginners, you are supposed to think there's never end. And once you become matured and once you become really, really, experience bodhisattva, you don't even know what end means. There is no end. I mean, in other words, there is no beginning and there's no end. End and beginning is a time matter. It's a child's game. It's as even more useless than Barbie doll for the bodhisattva. Okay. Was there somebody?
Oh, Rinpoche, just a clarification about that word that you use. A moment, a bodhisattva on the first level, in an instant, a single moment can go to 100 Buddha realms, tackle 100 emotions in a single instant or moment. Is that the same moment that you were talking about yesterday, the pigeon carrying a tissue paper and wiping Mount Everest, the time when it becomes flat? Are you comparing this type of moments to?
Yeah, but that moment is not long.
Which moment?
You make it sound like the pigeon thing is really, really long. But I never told that story to make you think it's so long. I told that story to really describe how short it is.
But yeah, okay. So both are the same moment. The story moment and the sutra moment for the bodhisattva, are they the same moment that you're describing?
Same and different, like ice and water.